Welcome to Math 218. My name is Brian Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your instructor for this semester. This course is organized into both a lecture component and a discussion component. The lectures will be run by me, and the discussion components will all be run by Nini Arcillo-Maja. Now, so if you need to contact either myself or Nini, our emails are listed here. Now, what this picture shows is what it's like to live a week in this course. So everything is organized week by week. Every Monday morning, the same thing will happen. Lesson material will be released on the website, and then quizzes and problem sets will be released in Gradescope. Now, throughout the week, we will work through the lesson material that's posted on the website. On Thursdays, you will have your discussions, and then the deadline for quizzes and problem sets is the following Tuesday. So that's 8 days after material is released. How do grades work? Well, the first 8% of your grade is your performance on the comprehension quizzes. Every topic we cover has a quiz associated to it that you take inside of Gradescope. Now, collaboration on these quizzes is totally encouraged. That's both among your peers and other avenues for help. But late quizzes are not accepted. So you need to meet the deadline of 10 p.m. the following Tuesday. The next 8% of your grade is your performance on problem sets. Now, inside of Gradescope, every topic has a problem set associated to it that is distributed as a templated PDF. It is your responsibility to either print the PDF and write your solutions to the problems on paper. You would then scan your solutions and upload to Gradescope by the deadline using a scanning app. Or for those of you who prefer to work electronically, you can download the PDF, write your solutions on your electronic device, and then upload your solution PDF by the deadline. Both are acceptable. The next 10% of your grade is your attendance in discussion sections. Now, in discussion, you will be working on worksheets to sort of reinforce the topics that we're covering week to week. But the worksheets themselves are not graded for correctness. You're purely graded on attendance. So that's 10% of your grade. The next 42% of your grade is your performance on the 3 midterm exams. The 3 midterms are scheduled for February 17th, March 24th, and April 21st. Those are taken in the lecture time periods, and those are all on Fridays. So make sure to mark your calendars for those 3 dates. Finally, the last 32% is your performance on the final exam. The final exam is scheduled for May 2nd from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's a cumulative final exam, so it covers everything that we've done throughout the course. Now, if for whatever reason you have some extreme circumstance that causes you to miss a midterm with an excused absence, my policy is not that you retake the midterm. Rather, your score on the final exam will replace your missed midterm. The last thing I want to say about absences is if you have a similar situation, so an extreme circumstance that causes you to miss a discussion for an excused reason, it is your responsibility to both email me and your discussion leader to inform us of this absence. Now, for those of you who receive SDAO accommodations for this course, please contact me as soon as possible through email. What I will ask that you do is I'll ask that you navigate to this website and click on this green button to take care of your accommodations. Now, nearly everything you need for the course is organized on the course webpage, where the URL is bfits.xyz. I'll walk you through this webpage in a moment, but I just want to make sure that you're aware that the webpage is a key part of this course. Now, in terms of other resources, there's an unofficial textbook for the course that I do not require that you buy, but you might find useful anyway, and that's Gilbert Strang's famous Introduction to Linear Algebra, 5th edition. So this is not, I do not require that you purchase this book. All the material that you need to succeed in the course will be posted on the course webpage. However, some students find that they like to have an extra resource. Before midterm exams, I will post a few extra optional problems for you to study from, sourced from the textbook. But again, that's purely optional. Obtaining this book is not required for the course. What about getting help? There's 2 primary ways to get help in this course. That's through office hours or through the help room. My office hours occur Monday, Wednesday, Friday in person. So that's from 2:40 to 3:25. That's in between our the two lectures for this course. And that's in White Lecture Hall 107. I also have Zoom office hours Tuesday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Also, Nini will have office hours on Tuesdays. The first office hour block will be from 10 a.m. to noon. That will be through Zoom. And then also from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., that'll be in person in her office. That's Physics 045. So that's the basement of the physics building. You can also get help by going to the math help room, which for this course operates twice a week. That's Sundays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Physics 235. Now, the opening date, so the first day of operation, is January 19th. So just be aware of that for these first few days of the course. Now, what about expectations? When it comes to my expectations of you academically, one of the most important things is that you keep pace. Topics are rolling out week by week. It's very important that you're keeping current with all of the material as it comes out, and that you don't procrastinate. It's also important that you participate. Attendance in lecture and discussion is absolutely mandatory. It is not optional. When everybody attends, we can all collaborate together to learn the material, and it makes everything run much more smoothly. Also, attend office hours if you feel like you need extra help. That's really important. If you do happen to fall behind, or if you do find yourself struggling with any particular topic, it's important that you communicate by reaching out to either me or your TA sooner rather than later. So it's important that you take care of these things early on in the course rather than later in the course. And another important thing is that you practice writing. When you're working on your problem sets, while it is true that many of the problems have like a single answer, the answer is very often the end of a more important solution. So I want you to be practicing the way that you are writing your solutions and not necessarily singularly focusing on the end answer for any particular problem. I also have some behavioral expectations. The first two are kind of related. So keep in mind that we're communicating a lot online these days. So we have Zoom office hours, I'm posting lots of things on the website, we might be emailing back and forth. Whenever things happen on the internet, it's sometimes easy to forget that the person on the receiving end of the communication is a person who appreciates kindness. So from time to time, mistakes might occur. So for example, I might post a link to the webpage that was typed in incorrectly. Or maybe in an email, I get a date wrong or something like that. Things like, or maybe there's a typo in the slides. Things like that are expected to happen, and I want to fix those issues, but I'd much rather fix those issues by receiving an email from you that's worded very kindly rather than one that's an angry email. So always keep that in mind. Be nice on the internet. Also be humble. So we're covering, so this course assumes that you know nothing about linear algebra, so we're somewhat starting from scratch. That means there might be from time to time a topic that you think that you've seen before. The healthiest way to approach this is to pretend like you haven't seen any of this material before and relearn the material as articulated for this course. That's a very useful way to reinforce material. And finally, I need you to humor me. Remember that the point of this course is for you to learn linear algebra. So I always want you to keep that in mind when you're communicating with me. Now, that takes care of these welcome slides, but I want to walk you over to the course webpage. Remember, the URL for this webpage is bfits.xyz. Now, that'll take you to the home page of my personal website, but up top you'll find that there's this link to our course, Math 218. So if you click that link, that takes you to the home page for our class. At the top here, you'll find that there is these icons that you can click on. Let me explain each of these icons. The first one is this sort of list icon. That takes you to the home page of this course, which you'll see is this list of topics enumerated week by week. Next to it is this calendar icon. If you click on the calendar, that takes you to this embedded Google Calendar, where I've organized all of the important dates, times, and locations for everything that occurs in the course. So if you ever have a question of the form, hey, when or where does X event occur? The answer is almost guaranteed to be on this calendar. So click the calendar emoji, check out all of the important dates here, and you should be able to get answers to those types of questions. The next two icons are just letters. Well, these are links to the Zoom rooms for this course. The B icon is a link to my Zoom room for the class. So if you need to interact with me, like for example, during Zoom office hours, all you got to do is you got to click this link and it'll take you to the Zoom room where I'll hold office hours. Nini's Zoom room is to the right here with this N icon. So if you need to go to her Zoom office hours, all you got to do is click that icon and it should take you to the Zoom room. Next to that is the Gradescope icon. That'll take you to Gradescope, where all of the problem sets and quizzes are distributed. So you'll be interacting with that regularly. And finally, if you click on this scroll icon, it'll take you to a more formal PDF document articulating the policies for this course. Now, if we go back to the list icon, this will take us to the list of topics for the class. Now, again, these will roll out week by week. Now, you can always click on the title of the lesson, and that will take you to the slides that I will be lecturing from in class. Now, this is not a substitute for attending lecture. However, I do think it's useful for students to have access to this material. To the right, you'll find that the column is labeled Resources. This is where extra material will be posted. For example, for nearly every lesson, I've pre-recorded a YouTube lecture to help supplement the material from a lecture. So those YouTube videos are not substitutes for attending lecture. However, many students like to go back especially when they're studying, and revisit the material. Hopefully those videos will be useful supplements. But again, this is not a substitute for attending class. You'll find that from time to time there are other resources that I'll post. For example, I have links here up top to an Android and iOS app for scanning documents as PDFs. You should absolutely be using those scanning apps to scan in your problem sets to Gradescope. And also you'll find these blue icons are represented in nearly every topic. If you click them, those will take you to embedded calculators relevant to whatever topic we're covering there. So I've already probably let this video go a little bit too long, so I think we can stop here. But I really look forward